Hey guys, how you doing? So today we're comparing the Garmin Forerunner 70 with the Garmin Forerunner 170. Now, normally my size comparison videos are about choosing between a smaller and a larger watch. But this comparison is different because these two watches have the exact same dimensions. So today we are going to find out whether they also look and feel identical on and off my wrist. We will compare the design, display, battery life, GPS and health tracking, and most importantly the features you get for the extra money. Like always, you will find the links down below in the video description. Let's start with the price. So the Garmin Forerunner 70 costs around 250 euros, while the standard Forerunner 170 costs around 300 euros. There's also a Forerunner 170 Music for around 350 euros, which adds offline music storage. So between the regular Forerunner 70 and 170, we are talking about a difference of roughly 50 euros. From the outside, however, you are not getting a larger watch. Both models measure 42.6 by 42.6 by 11.9 millimeters. I also measured the lug-to-lug distance, which is approximately 50 millimeters on both watches. The Forerunner 70 weighs around 40 grams, while the Forerunner 170 weighs around 41 grams, so the difference is impossible to notice. Both use a fiber-reinforced polymer case, strengthened glass, 5 physical buttons, and a touchscreen. They are also water-resistant up to 5 ATM. The overall case shape, button placement, and sensor area on the back are basically identical. There are still some visible differences. Both of my watches come in the white stone color, but the Forerunner 70 combines the light case and strap with a black bezel, while the Forerunner 170 uses a softer gray bezel. This gives the Forerunner 70 more contrast and a slightly sportier look, while the Forerunner 170 looks more minimal. There is also a difference between the buckles. The Forerunner 170 comes with a metal buckle, while the buckle on the Forerunner 70 is made from white polymer and matches the color of the strap. The metal buckle gives the Forerunner 170 a slightly more premium appearance, although both straps feel pretty similar. Both watches use standard 20mm quick release straps, so changing the bands is easy. Since the case and strap dimensions are the same, neither watch has a major advantage when it comes to comfort. Now, for context, my wrist measures around 19 centimeters. Both watches look relatively compact on my wrist, especially compared with larger Garmin models such as the Phoenix series. I normally prefer larger smartwatches, but for a running watch, this size makes a lot of sense. The watches stay stable during work hours, their low weight makes them comfortable for sleep tracking, and they fit underneath a long sleeve without creating a large bump. The approximately 50mm lug-to-lug measurement also works well on my wrist, and the ends of the watch do not extend beyond the side of my arm. Since the dimensions are identical, there is no reason to choose one model over the other based on the wrist size. If the Forerunner 70 looks too small or too large on your wrist, the Forerunner 170 will look exact the same. Your decision has to come down to the design, features, and the price, of course. Now let's get over to the displays, because this is normally one of the most important parts of my size comparisons. Both watches have the same 1.2-inch AMOLED touchscreen with a resolution of 390 by 390 pixels. The display borders and usable screen area also appear to be identical. I went through the different menus and the apps to see whether Garmin shows more information on the Forerunner 170, but there is no difference. Messages and notifications show the same number of lines and the same amount of text. The weather app, heart rate data, body battery, sleep information, and the other health screens also look identical. The same applies to the system settings, watch faces, workout screens, and third-party apps. You get the same number of data fields, the same font size, and the same spacing. So unlike a normal size comparison, there is no display-related reason to pay more. The Forerunner 170 does not give you a larger screen, better readability, or more information at once. The official battery ratings are actually better on the cheaper watch. Garmin rates the Forerunner 70 for up to 13 days in smartwatch mode and up to 5 days with the always-on display. The Forerunner 170 is rated up to 10 days in smartwatch mode and around 4 days with the always-on display. I also tested both watches with the always-on display enabled and the brightness set to the maximum level. Sleep mode was active from 10 p.m. until 6 a.m. Under these demanding settings, the Forerunner 70 lasts around 4 days and 4 hours, while the Forerunner 170 lasts around 4 days and 13 hours. Overall, the battery difference between the watches is very small in my testing. The Forerunner 170 lasts around 9 hours longer during normal use with my demanding settings, but that is not enough to make battery life the deciding factor between them. Now, what about GPS and health tracking? This is important because the Forerunner 170 is more expensive, but that does not automatically mean it gives you a more accurate running data. Both watches use the same generation of Garmin's optical heart rate sensor, and both use multi-GNSS positioning rather than Garmin's more advanced multiband GPS. For regular running, walking, and cycling, you should therefore expect a very similar experience when it comes to distance, pace, route recording, and wrist-based heart rate tracking. The main health and recovery features are also largely the same. Both track your heart rate, sleep, stress, blood oxygen, and HRV status. You also get body battery, training readiness, recovery information, daily suggested workouts, Garmin coach, and the main running metrics on both models. So the Forerunner 70 already includes most of the tools that affect your daily training. The Forerunner 170 does not give you a newer heart rate sensor or more advanced GPS. The higher price is mainly about additional sensors and convenience features. The first important extra on the Forerunner 170 is Garmin Pay, which lets you make contactless payments directly from the watch. The Forerunner 70 does not support Garmin Pay. The Forerunner 170 also includes a barometric altimeter and a compass. The Forerunner 70 can still calculate elevation through GPS, but the 170 can measure altitude change more directly. That can be useful for trail running, hiking, cycling, or workouts with a lot of climbing. The Forerunner 170 also has an additional thermometer. It adds open water swimming and support for cycling accessories such as power meters and smart trainers. These differences make the Forerunner 170 more versatile for people who do more than regular road running or gym workouts. Then there is the Forerunner 170 Music. This version lets you save music and podcasts directly on the watch and listen through Bluetooth headphones without carrying your phone. The regular Forerunner 170 does not include offline music, so make sure you're looking at the correct version before buying it. If your main focus is running, gym workouts, everyday activity tracking, and basic health monitoring, the Forerunner 70 already covers almost everything most people would need. You are mainly paying extra for Garmin Pay, the additional sensors, broader sports support, and the option to get offline music. So which one should you go for? Go for the Garmin Forerunner 70 if you want the better value and mainly care about running, health tracking, and Garmin's training features. It gives you the same size display, almost the same weight, the same basic GPS technology, and the same core heart rate sensors as the Forerunner 170. Choose the Forerunner 170 if you will actually use Garmin Pay, the barometric altimeter, compass, thermometer, open water swimming, or the extra cycling support. And if phone-free music is important, you will need the Forerunner 170 Music, of course. On my 19cm wrist, both watches look and feel the same in terms of size. The main visual difference are the bezel color and the metal buckle on the Forerunner 170. The Forerunner 170 is basically the same watch body with a few additional sensors and smart features. If you need them, the extra cost makes sense. If you do not, the Forerunner 70 gives you almost the same everyday experience for less money. Let me know which model you would choose, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!